So
Wow.
you see how much I owe to Hulk Hogan.
Russo'sBrand.com, where the pros are the pros. Stevie, how did you feel, and how did you learn, and what are your emotions? I know you have put Hulk over on this show many times, so I thought of you, Stevie, and I want to hear what's going through your mind right now.
You know what, Vince? I've had a few calls already today, and I don't know how many people didn't have DM me and just hit me on my messaging and so on and so forth. I got a call from my publicist today that one of the local TV stations wanted to talk to me, and I sent her a message back saying, I don't know if I want to. Secondly, personal friends of you and mine, I've had a couple of talks with me. Even the radio station that I used to work for here in town, they even called me and asked me would I come on and say a few words about Hulk Hogan. And now I had forgotten, oh man, today is Thursday. This is when me and Vince talk about, and I'm like, wow, man, well, you know, so it's a lot. It's a lot that I'm taking in all at one time. But Vince, as you well know, we've talked about Hogan on many occasions. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about Hogan from back in the day, Hogan from the middle section, Hogan from today. And given our perspectives on it all the way around, just like you just did a few minutes ago, everything that he's involved in. But Vince, I'm going to tell you something. Before I get to my pretty much diatribe on Hulk Hogan, when I really started thinking about it, because I was watching Bubba also, because Bubba would give little trailers. Mm-hmm. But then you start thinking like, is Bubba just doing this for clickbait because he's a radio guy? You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. And everybody's doing that. But this was the thing. Vince, we never heard anything from Hogan.
Right.
Mm. That's when it started to kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's in the back of my mind, but I'm not saying anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he's involved with the thing with Eric. And even if he just gave a little 10-second video like, hey, this is Hulk Hogan and blah, blah, blah. Never did any of that. That's when Vince, I don't know about you, but you getting it from the horse's mouth. That's when I start thinking, man, we haven't heard nothing from Hulk. I wonder, is he really doing okay? But so that's, and then when I heard this today, it kind of cemented it for me, if that makes any sense. Man, my suspicions were right, man. He's really not doing, because I'm listening to the Bubba clips, man. And Bubba was emphatic.
Yeah.
Even though we know the history of him and Hogan, you know what I'm saying? But deep down in his heart, even when you got situations with people, brother, you still got feelings for them.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
You still got feelings for them. And, you know, the situation is what it is, you know, and a lot of events could be legal because a lot of legalities went down. Right. You know how that goes.
Right.
That's what kept the Beatles from getting back together. You remember that?
Yep.
It was legalities, not that they wasn't tight no more.
Yep.
Right.
Maybe that's a bad example. I don't know. But I'm just saying, when you was telling Bubba to go, you know, do the right thing, but he was saying, brother, they won't let me. It ain't him.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You know, but man, me and the cat were talking earlier today, and we were talking about our relationship with Hulk Hogan. And a lot of people don't know this. Carl, you don't know, but maybe I've talked with Vince about this. But Hulk Hogan is one of the main reasons Harlem Heat became what they were.
Mm.
Hulk Hogan.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Wow.
Hulk Hogan is the one that told the office, why aren't y'all pushing these guys? They're exciting. They're the best tag team you got. Because me and my brother knew because of the good old boys mentality back then, we wasn't going anywhere in WCW.
Mhm.
They were going to use us to a certain point, and then you go back to Palookaville. That's just the way. But we
Yeah.
knew that because the person that trained us informed us this was going to happen. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
So what me and my brother was going to do, this is a conversation that we had. I don't even know if I've ever discussed this with Vince before because it's personal. And as anybody know, I don't like to talk about personal things very much.
Right.
What we were going to do was get as much airtime as we possibly could. And we didn't care who we were working with. We were going to go against the grain and try to make ourselves, which is a selfish way to do things, but we were auditioning for the eyes of professional wrestling.
Right. Right. Right.
Between us. So whenever we went out there with somebody, we know what the office was doing with these guys, but we were going to do this. Okay, I want these guys to take 60, 70% of the match. And we go, yeah, that's cool. But we wouldn't give it to them. We would let them get maybe 50-50, but you're not, you know what I'm saying? Then we will put them over, which is business, but we're not going to give them 70%. You might not understand that, Carl, but Vince knows exactly what I'm talking about. Now, Vince might come back and go, hey, man, what happened out there? Fans didn't see it, but he saw it because he's the one that, in charge of pushing the matches. And we'll just put it on them. If they didn't get it, you need to go talk to them. Don't talk to us. Not in a harsh way, but hey, then he go talk to them and say, hey, man, what happened out there? But they didn't even realize they didn't get 70%. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they looking at Vince like, what are you talking about? We went over. See, that's the main thing in a lot of guys' head, psychologically, that they're thinking about. And see, I know that because I study things. They want to go over, and that's what they think makes them look good. In my mind, we want to look good. You remember what you call said, and white man can't jump? How he say the black man thinks? And how, you remember that? And when he's talking to Wesley Snipes?
Mhm.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Not trying to get over analytical, but I'm just saying. So one night, this is a true story. This is before Hogan got there. Ric Flair was still in charge at that time. And we had a match with Randy Savage and Sting. And we didn't know, and I don't know if you even know this, Vince, that Randy Savage and Ric Flair had heat. Did you know that?
I did not know that. No.
I didn't know it to that night.
Wow.
Well, I'm not really into guys' business, but you work with guys individually.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that because a lot of that can be true, but it never gets to the public.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking it's one of those. That's why I'm asking you about it right now. But you were still in WWE at that time.
Yeah.
Savage had came over. So we're having a match against Savage and Sting. Mike Graham came in and give us the finish. And the finish made Savage's finish look bad. Remember his finish was the elbow.
Yeah.
He was one part of the match, he's supposed to come off the top, hit my brother with the elbow. And guess what my brother was supposed to do, Vince?
No sell.
Kick out.
Kick out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You can't kick out of Randy's elbow.
I mean,
Wow.
Vince, I didn't say no sell. Vince, kick out.
Yeah.
No, not me making a save, Vince.
Right.
Which would save the finish, right?
Yeah.
No, brother. You turned into Hulk Hogan at that point. Only Hulk Hogan kicks out of finishes.
Right.
You dig?
Right.
Yeah.
Hogan is the only person back in the day that could kick out of anybody's finishes. Am I lying, Vince?
You're 100% correct.
Look, I know that. Nobody kick out.
Nobody kicks out of the elbow off the top. Okay, and not only that, me and my brother of all people, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can see if it was Sting or Lex Luger or somebody like that.
Yeah.
But Harlem Heat, these two job guys, these two jabronis, But so come to find out, Flair that was his deal, telling Mike Graham, who was giving the finishes then, what was up. And we could see it on Mike's face as he's giving it the finish. We look at each other like, but you don't say nothing, Carl. I'm kind of giving you the edification because you don't know how this works behind the scenes. So I'm kind of giving it to you more than Vince. So Mike Graham said, okay, you guys, you go out there, have a good match. He walks out the door. Sting is the odd man out in this, right? Sting looks at all three of us and guess what he says? I just want to let you guys know I ain't got nothing to do with this.
that was always Sting. Like that, Sting was caught up in so many things he had no idea about. Like literally, like that's Sting's gimmick, man. He's so nice,
but he knew Vince.
Yeah,
Vince, but he knew something is up right here. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with me. But Harlem Heat kicking out of a finish. Putting Randy in this bad light, and I'm his partner right now. Okay, there's something going on here. I didn't know if he knew about the Heat either. You see what I'm saying? At that time. So then Randy Savage goes crazy, starts kicking the walls and turning over all the stuff in the dressing room as Sting, my brother, and I looking at him like, okay, this is what it looks like when a big superstar gets pissed off. I had never experienced this, Vince. You know what I'm saying? I experienced the little tribal things. I haven't experienced the atomic bomb.
But he didn't have any heat with Booker, right? He knew Booker.
No, we don't know nothing about this.
Okay.
I don't know. We don't know what's going on until he start talking and tearing everything up. Then the verbiage came out. You know, he's tearing stuff up like Godzilla. You know, when you tear up a city. You know, you just throw things when you see shit. You know. But then he started saying this. That son of a bitch is trying to ruin my career. That EMF, I'll kick his ass. So now it's kind of coming together in our minds. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Slowly but surely, the picture is kind of like opening up. You know, the clouds are opening. So we're kind of, oh, this is a Ric Flair thing. Oh, we never knew. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going somewhere with this. That's why I'm telling this story. I'm going somewhere with this. So we've calmed him down. Now I see why Sting said, hey, man, I ain't got nothing to do with this. Okay, this is before all the stuff started. And then when all the stuff started, then the verbiage came out. Then we were like, oh, okay, we're in the middle of a hurricane here with two top guys that's got a problem with each other. We had known anything about that. Okay, this is new to me, but hey, it is what it is. Now, how do we handle this? This is what's going through our heads right now, okay? And we were like, you know, they kind of like using us as guinea pigs anyway, so let's throw a monkey wrench in it. So like I said, we were auditioning and stuff, and I go, Savage, calm down, brother. Let's figure it out. He's trying to ruin my career, man. That son of a bitch, blah, blah, blah. Okay, man, calm down. You done tore up everything in here. Ain't no more stuff to throw around no more, okay? So I said, we won't do it. Me and my brother looked at each other and said, let's not do that. And we told him, we won't do it. And he was like, what? Carl, in the business, whenever you're given a finish, you don't change it. It's an unwritten, it ain't your show. You just own the show. So whenever you're given a finish, Carl, unless you're Hulk Hogan is the only person that can change finishes. You dig?
Yeah.
He's the only person that can kick out of finishes. He's the only person that can say, I changed it in the middle of the match and don't nobody say nothing. Am I lying, Vince?
You're right, 100%.
Wow.
I'm just letting Carl know how things work for the ill-informed, you know what I'm saying, as it pertains to this business. So we went on a limb and said, no, we're not going to do that, man. Let's do something else. So I say we keep everything the same because the finish had 15 different parts that everybody had to remember. I said, we keep everything the same. When you come off the top rope, do not come off with your elbow. Come off with your double sledgehammer. My brother goes down, you go for the pin, I make the save. And he was like, man, y'all don't care? Y'all do that? I said, brother, we're they messing with us too because we're in the middle of it. You see what I'm saying? So if we go down, we all go down together because we're auditioning to try to go somewhere else anyway. So they messing with us too. So that's what we went out and did. And after that day, Randy Savage was cool as hell with me and my brother. Okay. Then not too long after that, maybe, I don't know, we was down in Disney, and that's when Hogan came in. And that's when 3 days later, we were down there for like 10, 12 days. Flair was the booker at that time. And then we looked up, Flair is sitting in the office sitting in the dressing room with us, the jabronis and job guys of the world. Now we're trying to figure out, wait a minute, just a day or so, he had his name on the door. You know how they put the gimmick name on your door, man, like Mr. Drysdale or something like that, you see the name, you see the name before you even see the guy, you know what I'm saying? He was that guy a couple of days before. Now you're in here with us with our money suit on, and we're all like fifth graders throwing spitballs and paper airplanes at each other and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's our dressing room. So we didn't know what was up. You know what happened? Hogan had just came in. You see what I'm saying? And he was out. Hogan was in. And then they pull us in the office a few days after that and tell us, Harlem Heat, we're going to give you guys a push. We were like, oh, that's how I go. You just tell somebody, bring them in the office and tell them that. So then we found out later that Hogan was told when he come in to evaluate talent that they had, and he told them, why don't y'all push Harlem Heat? They're the best tag team. They're the most exciting tag team you got. Why don't y'all push these guys? That's how Harlem Heat got a push, and the rest is history. Wow. So you see how much I owe to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And you see the vitriol that was being used when people have power before he got there. Now I don't know what he exhibited after he got there, but that day, you ever heard of the old slogan, the day the music died, with Richie Valenzuela and the Big Bopper and Buddy Holly? That was the day WCW changed. I remember this like it was yesterday, Carl. Like it was yesterday. And I was telling my boy this on the radio station this morning. I ain't never had a problem with Hulk Hogan personally. Now, I didn't agree with some of the decisions him and Eric made as far as in the company and the business, but that's me, that's personal. But every conversation I ever had with this man, God rest his soul, because we always had good conversations. Carl, do you know Hogan and I have never talked about professional wrestling once?
Wow.
Out of all the conversations we ever had, you know what we talked about? Classic hot rods and motorcycles. That was it. And one time we had a conversation about him trying to put together some stuff, like when he was going on Jay Leno and got Jay Leno into the pay-per-view and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, man, I think that'd be a good idea for us, take things to the next level. That's the only conversation I've ever had with that man about pro wrestling. Every other time it was about 69 Plymouth, Barracudas, Ford Mustangs, Camaros, Corvettes, motorcycles, Harleys, this, that. Yeah, stuff that I'm into and stuff that he's into. So that's why I've always had the utmost respect for Hulk Hogan, bro.
Man, I'm glad you said that. And people got to hear more of those type of stories. Because, my timeline is they've hated Hulk Hogan for a long time. And I'm always
I get asked about it all the time, being a minority.
Right, and same here. And my response is, I wish I was perfect enough to never forgive him.
Right,
that's what I say all the time. I wish I was perfect enough, as perfect as you are, where you can hold this over this man's head for the rest of his life. I'm sorry, I've made worse mistakes than the things that he said.
Right,
I'll just be real.
Right.
I don't agree with what he said. Don't mean I got to walk around wearing red and yellow all the time. Saying train to eat my vitamin. But I mean, he's part of the reason I started watching wrestling, of course, growing up in the 80s. And the fact of the matter is, the man was human.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, he made mistakes.
Yeah, Carl, I gotta say this though. I mean, I have to say this because
Sure.
you know, bro, there comes a time, and we all know, and we all go through this, when you have to take responsibility. And where Hogan got so much heat, Carl, it wasn't over the fact of, you know, him dropping the N-word. It wasn't that. The heat came from after that incident. He went back to the WWE. And I believe it was Vince that made him address every African American in the locker room before Vince was ever going to do anything with him.
Right.
And the where the heat came from, Carl, was when he was talking to the African Americans in the locker room. He blamed it on alcohol. He blamed it on he was drinking at the time. And that's why people like Coach and people like Mark Henry, they were like, all you had to say was, brother, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I'm human. It won't happen again. But the fact that he blamed it on his drinking, that's where they all had heat with him.
Vince, can I say something to that?
Yeah. I'm just telling you because I
No. I know the story.
Yeah,
you know, because I know so many of those guys.
You know, I do a show,
right.
And he's adamant about not liking Hulk.
I understand that.
Because of that.
I understand that.
Right.
But can I come at it from another?
Absolutely.
How many times, Vince, have you and I, we've been doing this show now, what, 4 or 5 years?
Long time.
How many times have I come on this show and said most people, black or white, when it comes down to the real meat and potatoes of talking about race, they don't know how to do it? How many times have you heard me say that?
A million times. Absolutely a million times. Yes.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan is no exception to that.
That's true, Steve. That's true.
But see, I know this. So in essence, the last thing a person of Caucasian descent wants to be labeled as in a public scope is a racist.
Yep.
And then having to confront minorities in that setting is probably the most afraid he's ever been in his life.
The entire life. Yeah.
So you look for a way out because you don't know how to talk about. It's easy to be racist. It's hard to communicate racism.
Yeah.
It is a big difference. And how many times have I talked about on this show, Vince?
A lot.
So if I'm in that dressing room, I wouldn't respect what he said either.
Right.
But I actually know where he's coming from. I'm trying to save faith. And I'm trying to be legitimate all at the same time.
Yeah.
This is my only out. But he chose the wrong one.
Yeah.
That's called, huh?
And he's human. He's human.
You just took the words right out of my head.
Right.
Yep.
You just took the words right out of my head. Because in the bigger picture, this is what I was telling the cat today. He and I were talking. If I'm in the same situation, because everybody knows I have a daughter also, of which I love very much. If I'm in that same situation, and whatever my feelings are underneath, my underneath feelings about certain people that she's dating, and you have a microphone in my house, and me and her mother are talking. Vince, how do you know you wouldn't hear something that I said, go, wow, I didn't know Stevie Ray was like that?
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm coming from?
Absolutely. Yep.
Because my emotions are involved.
Right.
Not my intellect.
Yeah.
My emotions are involved. Because everybody will know, brother, he's smarter than that. He ain't that guy. But as of right now, as it pertaining to his daughter dating somebody that he never thought about she would bring home, you dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I might go ballistic. Now I'm foolish at that point. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying really stupid shit at that point. But it's coming from somewhere else. Now I'm not saying that's what happened with Hogan. I'm just saying if you did that with me, brother, it ain't no telling what you might hear out of my mouth.
What would come out of your mouth if your daughter brought a Vince Russo home? What would come out of your mouth? You hit, honey. You hit the jackpot.
I'm going to say,
welcome, son, Sonny boy, welcome. Is that what would come out of your mouth?
I'm going to politely take my daughter in my office, and I'm going to sit her down, and I'm going to let her know how everything has been restructured. Okay. Everything as it pertains to me, with me leaving and things she's supposed to receive has been restructured through my attorney. Okay.
That ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right.
There's no fussing and fighting. Then my daughter's gonna think better of it. She's gonna say, I don't know if this Vince Russo is worth it or not. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what she's gonna say.
That's cold and callous.
What thing I would say to that event is while I fully understand the point of the story that you told, right?
Right.
And I understand Coach not liking him. I understand Mark Henry.
No, me too. I understand.
They were right there. They were right there in the face, right?
Yeah.
So guess who wasn't right there?
Who's that?
Me.
Right.
These people on my timeline. And guess what? Most of us don't even know about that because again, that type of stuff happens in a bubble, man.
Yeah.
And most of them, they got upset about that one thing. And I determined, it's just Carl, right? That I can't hate anybody I don't know.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I can loathe something they do. I can say I never want to meet them, but I can't actually hate somebody that I have not had a real experience with. I think that's inhumane in of itself.
Right.
To do that to somebody you don't know nuances, like you said, don't know what's going on. You can disapprove. You could cuss. You could be like, it's the worst thing ever. You can demonize the action. But to forever demonize the person, and I think part of it, I'll be honest with you, I think it goes further than that. When he aligned with Trump, it made it worse for them.
But I can even understand that too. But I know don't mean to cut you off, but I know a lot of Republicans. Some of my best friends are Republicans. Okay, we don't agree politically, but we respect each other.
Right.
You respect where I'm coming from. I respect where you come from. Don't mean I disagree with it. But I agree with you 100%. But when you are in a part, if you are at the part of your life where I'm going to choose this over what I used to be, I understand that. I'm a guy up in age now, and I got an opportunity to make a lot of money. People don't understand when people get used to making money, they will do anything to keep making money. I mean, look at Vince. Look what he'll stoop to on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? We give him a break. You know what I'm saying?
Year-olds.
At
they're bullying 33-year-olds.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We give him a break on a day-to-day basis. Well, what I'm saying, I can understand because the cat asked me, and the cat was talking, he asked me the same thing. If those people came to you and gave you an opportunity to work with them and they throw numbers out in front of you, what would you do? I said, Cat, at this part of my life, I'm in my mid-60s. Yes, I'm taking the money because I got loved ones to think about and leaving them. That don't mean I'm abandoning my people.
It doesn't.
Just like I'm trying to get paid at the end of the day. That's America. That's capitalism. And if you don't agree with capitalism, that's one thing. But at the end of the day, maybe I can do some good with this money.
Yeah.
But I'm a minority, so I'm coming from a whole different aspect. But from what Hogan was doing, man, I don't fault him for that. And I don't fault him for being on allegiance with Donald Trump. That's America. That's your choice.
Right.
You might lose some fans, but you might gain some.
Yeah.
You're not a wrestler anymore. So I look at it in that aspect, man, because hell, Was Judas loyal to Jesus?
Till the end.
Was,
Till iniquity was found in his heart.
Where was Mark Anthony when everybody turned on Caesar? Where was he? Yeah, I'll tell you where he was. He said, hey, there he is right there. That is right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. We're putting stuff in a comedic light and stuff, and I think sometimes we have to do that when we don't want to grieve so much. Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, I look at the greater good of a human being. Hulk Hogan took professional wrestling from soap culture to pop culture. So many people owe this man because he did so much. He was the most charismatic person in the wrestling business. Nobody else could have carried that torch like he could at that time. We hear the story about Jesse Ventura, who's a friend of mine also, talk about how he wanted to bring a union. I was just telling the kid this last week at the Starcade. I was just giving him, another outlook on what you think you may know. Because at that time, Hulk Hogan was the top of the top. In the wrestling business, every wrestler's mindset is, I want to be the top of the top so I can be the guy, pulling the strings. It's like that in any sport. I want to be the best quarterback. I want to be the best running back. I want to be the best defensive lineman to get the most money. You see what I'm saying? You want everybody to revere you. So you can't look at Hulk Hogan in a way and say he doesn't have that mindset. It is more of that in pro wrestling than it is in anything else because of what we call competition.
Right.
But if I prove myself that I'm the most charismatic, I'm the guy that puts more asses in seats, that's competition. Because other guys have gotten a chance to do it, but they couldn't do it like him. And not only that, I'm taking something that's sublime and people don't even look at as legit and make it big on television, make it big on MTV, make it big on every single solitary media outlet known to man. That's what Hulk Hogan did. And nobody can deny that. So when Jesse Ventura was talking about, I'm trying to start a union and Hulk Hogan ratted me out, you know what I told the kid? That's not a Hulk Hogan thing. That is a wrestling mentality thing. Because when you are on top, you ain't about to share the wealth with nobody. Yep. That is a pro wrestling mentality. So I don't care if it had been Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful. I don't care if it was King Kong Bundy. I don't care if it was the Honky Tonk Man. If he had had that position, he would have did the exact same thing. Am I lying, Vince?
No, you're 1,000%. And I say that all the time. I say that all the time. I could not imagine being Hulk Hogan during that era when everybody's gunning for him. Everybody wants that spot. And that guy is doing everything he possibly can to keep it. Yes. I totally understand that. And like you said, Stevie, anybody in that spot has done the same exact thing.
Exactly.
Anybody, bro. Anybody.
Bro, wrestling was at an all-time high at that time, and they got paid off a lot of the asses they put in seats.
That's right.
I'm the top guy in the house shows, and the house shows are full. Everywhere we go to see who? Me. And you honestly think I'm about to share that? My mind, not saying it's not a good thing morally, but from a business point of view and from a professional wrestler state of mind. You think I'm about to share that with Carl Gray? Who is he?
Right. No, really. Yeah.
You lucky to be on the shows with me. So you better be cool with me, Carl, so I can put a word in with Vince. Hey, put Carl on some of the open shows with me to put some money in his pocket. You dig what I'm saying? Because if I hear about you doing anything else, I'm going to go to Vince and say, I don't even want him on the road with me.